Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This is Austin with Ready, Set, Rev. So today we're actually talking about a pretty cool topic, and that is overlanding, and not just overlanding, but overlanding with an electric vehicle. So we're gonna go over my 4 top favorite electric vehicles on the market today that would make great overlanding rigs. So first, let's talk a little bit about what overlanding is. So basically what overlanding is a combination of camping, road tripping, as well as off-roading. So you have to have a vehicle that's actually quite capable in doing all of those things. You need a capable vehicle because there is a lot of off-roading that comes along with overlanding, because overlanding, essentially you are not going to be spending much time on the highway, but you are going to go long distances on back roads. So the goal is basically to do road tripping without using any highways and being able to use dirt roads as much as possible to be able to get out into nature and just really enjoy it. However, a lot of people are wanting to switch over to electric vehicles, so manufacturers are building out some fantastic off-road rigs that would be perfect for overlanding. So we're going to go through those top 4, and I hope you enjoy them. So our number 1 might actually come as a surprise to many people. My recommendation as the number 1 best choice electric vehicle for overlanding would be the Ford F-150 Lightning. You might be surprised to hear that because there are actually more capable off-road vehicles on the market today. We will be talking about those in this list, but I say the F-150 Lightning as of today because of its aftermarket support. The F-150 Lightning is an off-road capable vehicle, but it's based on the F-150s. So the F-150 has a ton of off-road accessories out there. You can buy anything and everything you want for the F-150 because it's one of the top sold vehicles in the United States, just overall. So when you have an electric vehicle that's based on one of the most capable and mostly sold vehicles on the market, you have a ton of aftermarket support. So you can get things like toppers, you can get things like racks for the bed, you can get things for inside of the vehicle, you can get just tons of different accessories that will allow you to be able to do overlanding the best way possible that a lot of the other electric vehicles just don't have yet because they're on their own platforms. So if you liked the F-150, you like all the gear that you have with the F-150, you can put those onto the Lightning, making this one of the most capable overlanding vehicles on the market today. So let's go over a few of the specs around the F-150 Lightning. So the F-150 Lightning has 8.4 inches of ground clearance, meaning it should be able to get over a lot of the different terrain that you're hoping to do with overlanding. And it does have a good departure and approach angle as well. And of course, you can do modifications like I was saying earlier. F-150 has a ton of accessories you can do, so I would put larger tires to be able to get yourself a little bit more of that ground clearance. And at some point, they probably will have lift kits for these vehicles as well, which will help out with that. So the other great thing about the F-150 Lightning is its starting price. So at the time of this recording, I think prices are starting to go up. The starting MSRP starts at about $46,000, a little bit over that dollars, which is a great entrance for an electric vehicle in general, much less an awesome overlanding vehicle, making it so that a lot of people can purchase this if that's what they want to do. I would recommend getting the extended range battery because you get a little bit more power, you get a little bit less payload capacity, but you get a lot more range, which is extremely important when it comes to overlanding. You want to be able to go as far as physically possible without getting stranded. So that extended range battery does get you 320 miles of range. So our number 2 vehicle on this list is the Rivian R1T. So that is one of my favorite pickup trucks, much less electric vehicles on the market today. It is extremely capable. It's smaller than the F-150 Lightning, which makes it a little bit better off-roading. It has suspension that can raise it all the way up to 14.4 inches, which is just incredible. You're never going to have to think about getting a lift kit because that's just incredible for off-roading. 14.4, you don't see that on stock trucks, but you do see it on the Rivian R1T. So the Rivian R1T also has a lot of other really cool features that make it ideal for overlanding, including obviously its pickup bed, but it does also have a gear tunnel that sits behind the rear door and in front of the rear tire. It has a pass-through through the vehicle that you can store gear. It basically it's kind of like a trunk, but it's extremely usable. Or you can opt when you order your Rivian R1T to actually basically get a full kitchen setup that actually pulls out of the Rivian R1T, which allows you to be able to cook from your Rivian R1T. And for overlanding, that's extremely ideal. You would still have, of course, all your storage in the bed of the truck as well as the front of the vehicle because none of these vehicles have engines. So you have a ton of space there to be able to store stuff as well. The starting price of the Rivian R1T is around $67,500, which is still a respectable price. And And of course, you're probably going to want to get some of the goodies that you can buy from the OEM. Before we get any farther into this list, I do want to thank you so much for watching this video. And I do ask you if you can like this video, if it's been helpful, if you've found it interesting or anything like that. It helps other people to be able to see this video. So the number 3 overlanding vehicle on my list is actually from the same company. It is the Rivian R1S. The Rivian R1S is just now finally hitting the roads, and it is just, it's a really great vehicle. Both the Rivian R1T and the Rivian R1S can go to 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. So I mean, why not? It's basically a sports car in an SUV or a pickup truck format. But both of them make fantastic overlanding rigs. The Rivian R1S would be perfect for those that want to be able to sleep inside of their vehicle because you can lay down the back row seats and the middle row seats. Yes, it says a 3-row vehicle, and you can actually sleep in there. They have some accessories that allow it to be a flat load floor, which is fantastic. Or you could put a rooftop tent on top and be able to tow behind it if you had additional gear. Just make sure that you are paying attention to your range, because towing does actually affect electric vehicles quite a bit, so make sure to keep an eye on that. So the R1S actually has even more ground clearance than the R1T. The R1S, which is the SUV version, goes all the way up to 14.9 inches. It actually overall has better angles for off-roading as well, and it has a shorter wheelbase, which, as everybody knows, makes it even more ideal for off-roading too. The number 4 and one of the best overlanding rigs on the market today, of course, is also the GMC Hummer EV. At around 10,550 pounds, this is a hefty vehicle. It is a fun vehicle. It can go to 0 to 60 as well at about 3 seconds. So it makes it an awesome vehicle, but it also is great for overlanding, of course, because it's a truck. You can lay the back seats forward and just extend the bed of the truck, which is awesome. However, I'm not as big of a fan of the Hummer, which is why it's my number 4th pick, because it doesn't have a traditional bed. Which is going to make it a little bit more difficult for things like bed racks and a lot of the accessories you would normally have for overlanding. And of course, its hefty price tag at a little over $108,000. So while the GMC Hummer EV is a fantastic vehicle, it's a lot of fun, all those things, it isn't as ideal as the top 3, which is your F-150 Lightning, Rivian R1T, and the Rivian R1S, which are all a little bit smaller platform and just a little bit more suited for overlanding. So, hey, I really thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this helped you out and got you started on shopping for your best overlanding rig. Make sure to come back, make sure to subscribe and like this video. It really helps us out in helping other people be able to see these videos. And also go down into the description is a link to Ready Set Rev. It is our website, readysetrev.com, and there's actually an article that's very similar to this video if you wanted to read through it. It has a little bit more data, a little bit more information, which is always helpful. So I hope you have a great one. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to see you next time.